Hi, my name is Kay Cooney. I am an advanced practice nurse. I reside here in Massachusetts. I have been working in geriatrics, end-of-life pain management care specialties for the last 25 years of my career. Over the last 2 years, I've been working as a consultant, working with hospital and healthcare facilities, hospice agencies, home care agencies, managed care agencies that are looking at integrating alternative healthcare into mainstream traditional healthcare. The reason why I'm reaching out and sending you this video is I feel as though my expertise in geriatrics can really help bridge the gap between traditional healthcare and alternative, particularly with CBD. In the healthcare system with geriatric patients, we talk a lot about the 7 geriatric syndromes, of which all of them can be addressed by CBD. In the United States, there are over folks that are 65 years and older average 15 or more prescriptions. They are a very expensive subset of the population, and they're very underserved despite all of this care. The side effects and the confounding effects of polypharmacy is a huge problem in the geriatric population. There's also the issue of 85% of the geriatric population is believed to have some sort of untreated pain, and only 20% are reporting this. So there's a disconnect in that land. I think there's a great fear of opioids with this particular population and generation. And I think that with some education and understanding of what CBD can do for the aging person, we can make huge, huge differences. I like to think of myself as sort of a bridge, a facilitator, a translator. I understand the alternative therapies world and embrace it quite readily. I also understand what it means to be in healthcare, dealing with insurance, reimbursement, patient flow, regulations, Department of Public Health, survey, all that good stuff. So I understand what the obstacles are in merging the two. I also appreciate that the whole CBD movement is a grassroots movement. So how do we bring enough clinical expertise to it without over-medicalizing it and empower the consumer? So I see myself being able to speak on the topics of pain, bone health, organ health, putting the body back into homeostasis, drug-drug interactions with CBD and how we safely get around and work with those things. I want to be able to talk to a couple of different people in your audience with this. I want to talk to the potential end user or their family member, right? Because I get that this is grassroots, and we want them to understand and be able to go into the healthcare system and talk to their provider about why CBD might be a good choice for them. So there's that. I want to be able to talk to our sellers and distributors so that they understand and aren't threatened and intimidated by the consumer that comes along and is on 15 different meds, right? I'm not looking to substitute healthcare. I'm looking to coach these guys in the right manner so that they go to the right people to get answers and help support that. I also want to talk to the doctors in the room. I want them to start to understand that lack of reimbursement for something doesn't mean lack of viability, and lack of hardcore research doesn't mean lack of viability. Again, consumer-driven anecdotal reports are incredibly powerful in what we're seeing with CBD coming across the U.S. I think that I bring some value and that I can straddle these different worlds of consumer, distributor, healthcare provider. I can speak all of their lingo. My goal is to bring all of them together so that we can, at the end result for all of this is getting it in the patient's hand and getting good results. So I want to talk a little bit about obstacles to that, how we do that more successfully. My background in terms of public speaking, I have been speaking for many years now. I've traveled throughout the United States and several other countries abroad. My largest speaking audience was at the Leahy Clinic in Boston, about 5,000 patients a few years ago, talking about the challenges of international patients coming to the United States. I've worked and done some speaking roles for the National Hospice and Palliative Care Organization, as well as our state hospice federation. So I pretty regularly am up in front of a crowd, and I'm comfortable with that. I like an approach that really ends up and results in attendee satisfaction, right? I want their questions answered. So there's a lot of interaction. There's a lot of drawing. It isn't about sort of giving up lots of clinical expertise. It's really about figuring out what they want to know and making sure you're delivering it in a way they can receive it. So my presentations are noisy. I like to get the crowd involved. I like to keep people awake and engaged and walking away with, hey, that was great and useful. I try and give them tidbits that they can start implementing the stuff the next day, not sending them on a goose hunt for more and more answers, and generally empowering them and sort of reinforcing the information that they already have, and showing them where to get some more resources. One of the things that inspired me to reach out and do this was I have a 15-year-old Newfie that you might be able to hear breathing in the background. She went lame this week in one of her legs, and we took her off to the vets. And I was pretty certain it was going to be sort of an end-of-life situation. And my jaw hit the floor when the vet turned to us and said, you know, I don't think there's any big issue with your dog. I think she just needs CBD. And then turns and goes out front and, hands us a bottle of CBD. So when I saw that level of ease and integration in animal care, my whole thought to me was, okay, we got to get this right for humans. So I would love to be a conduit to that. That's my motivation in this. So I thank you for taking the time to look at this. I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have. Basically, my focus is going to be geriatrics and CBD. Even though the CBD is no different whether you're 65 or 45, I think there's a lot of fear with sellers with that serving that population. And I would argue they probably need us the most. So thanks for your time, and I look forward to hearing back from you. Take care.